viewers, thank you for tuning into Supermariodiagnostics once again. Today we are working on a 2008 Audi A6 with a 4.2 liter engine in it, and the vehicle's symptom right now is no crank. So the customer's concern is obviously no crank, no start, and came towed in, and went ahead and did a pre-scan, put my maintainer on as per usual. So let's take a look at what we have in our pre-scan. There we have it. We have all these modules here. We've got some passive sporadic power supply terminal 30, voltage too low, implausible signal from the ABS. We have ignition switch run start position circuit lower limit not reached, and we have a starter relay electrical error in circuit, and we also have some other codes that may not have anything to do with our concern. Our concern is the crank no start. So first things first, we're going to look at service information, and I already pulled it up by VIN number, but I haven't yet to explore it. So first thing I would like to see is what's going on with that ignition switch run start position circuit. So the code is P2533. I'm just going to type it in. You never know, you may get lucky. There may be TSBs. That's why I like the search feature. Sometimes they pull up a TSB for you, but nothing comes up on this one. I'm going to put the slash code that was next to it, 09523. Nothing. So yeah, we're going to have to do some digging on that. But for now, I'm going to keep going. There's a starter relay circuit, code P30088. It's not going to show us nothing. Gotta love aftermarket service information. What can I say? 12424 is the one for that. Nothing. So the power supply terminal 30, voltage too low, is P1602. Probably not gonna give me anything. And the code next to that is 05634. Nothing. So yeah, let's just throw a start in this thing, call it a day. I would like to see actually, what I should be doing is getting you guys to see the symptoms. So let's go ahead and head inside the car. We have the key on, engine off right now. And we take the key off. Should put it in park though. Take the key off, right? Put the key, the steering wheel's locked. Put the key in. Steering wheel unlocks. We have key position 1 and no crank when held all the way to the limit of the ignition switch. I'm gonna try it again, but holding the brake. I'm gonna hold the brake, try to crank it, nothing happens. So probably should look at live data right about now. I did do a no crank video in the past on a similar vehicle, and we were able to see live data in the engine computer. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. Let's hit OK. Look at live data. And advanced measure value. Let's go ahead and search here, and we're gonna hit start. Oops. Start. And we're going to hit the button, right? Starter input terminal 50R and starter relay, none of them turn on. Starter input terminal 50 off. So yeah, there could very well be an issue with the switch. There should be a starter input terminal 50. I believe that's reporting from the ignition switch. I think it may be time to look at diagrams to see what the ignition switch is connected to. We could look at the kessie module actually. Let's take a look at the kessie module. With the steering wheel unlocking, we're pretty much ruling out any issues with authentication and keys and stuff like that. So one thing to keep in mind. Go to advanced measure value. It says terminal 15 on. Nice, we get a nice readout of our statuses. Terminal 50 is our crank. Let's go ahead and crank it. Nothing happens. It recognizes that terminal 15 turns off. And let me see. Status terminal 15 and 50. Oh, look. We got terminal 50 off. So our switch, our ignition switch is good. But I hear no clicking. Now, no relay clicking, no nothing. So, relay circuits. Terminal 15 comes on, terminal 50. I'm holding it in the crank position. Nothing happens. So, relay circuit stays off. The ignition switch is good. It's throwing it to the kessie. We're going to see who's responsible for cranking. And let's see. Output voltage. Okay, so this is a readout from the coil, I believe. It's going through the coil and coming back to the kessie module at 12 volts. And then when you turn on terminal 15, it brings it down to 0.2, which that's pretty high, but this is, this is a module readout. This is a data pit. It may not be entirely accurate, but we see nothing on terminal 50. There's nothing going through the coil of the relay. So either there's a blown fuse or blown relay or a wiring issue here, or even a pin. Oh, wait a minute. There it goes. 12 volts. Interesting. Output voltage to terminal 50. Maybe it is controlled on the positive side. I don't know. That's weird. We're going to have to look at the diagram. First time I deal with one of these. Let's see. Authentication, yes. ID, yes. Beautiful. I think that's all the useful information we can get out of this thing. The brake light switch works. That's great. Status terminal S. Okay, I guess that's steering. Because as soon as I put in the key and the steering wheel unlocks, it goes on to on. So let's take a look at the diagrams and see what we find. Let me put you guys up on the tripod. The tripod. Whoa. I don't want to zoom you guys into my face. Then I get some complaints about that. Let's take a look at service information to see what controls our terminal 50 and our codes. You see, our codes didn't say anything about terminal 50 though. Our code was for terminal 30 if I'm not mistaken. Let's go back to the engine control module just to be sure and read codes. Yes, power supply terminal 30. Voltage too low. Well, that could be the battery was low when I got it. It was like around 11.5. I don't know what the threshold is for these, but I don't like the ignition switch run start position circuit. I don't have a description on that, but yeah, let's just take a look at the diagram. What really bothers me is that there's no starter relay activation. Let's go into diagrams. I want to see, just for the sake of looking at it, I want to see the starting circuit, even though it probably won't give me the information that I need, but it may, who knows. Starter relay 1 and 2, it's under the left side of the dash. All right. Now, how does the kessie see that? Is that through CAN? Let's see. Let's go to the power management, power distribution, actually, and take a look at this 6-page power distribution diagram. And let's see if we could use a find feature here. Last time, they don't really call it a kessie module, but they call it an authentication module, driver authentication. So there seems to be 2 hits on that. Access start authorization switch, that comes from fuse 42. And that comes from letter R on page 1. Where is letter R? That comes from over here. Alright, that's hot at all times. Maybe I'm not looking at this right. Alright, so let's start fresh here, because I'm kind of going everywhere, and that's not the point here. So I want to find out where's my starting relay. I see 2 starter relays here, but it's all internal to the relay position panel. We're not going to get much information here on this one, but I don't see how. You guys see this? In this diagram, there's on the starter relay pin 4 black, it goes to the access control module. So kessie is being reported to. Let's go back to the starting circuit and see what that black wire is on pin 4. Oh, okay, so that's the answer. The kessie module sees this out through the power distribution system. That was a coincidence. I didn't mean to I didn't see this at first and then said, oh, let's go look at our power distribution system. I just went and looked based on the last Porsche that we had, and these tend to be very similar. But anyway, that's how our kessie module sees what's going on. But it only sees, that's a power in. So let's understand this a bit before we jump the gun. We have power. Coming in, let's see where the starter. Engine control module is monitoring through the black and red the output that goes straight to the starter. So there's our starter in black and red. We have a monitor wire going to the ECM, and that's coming from starter relay 1, right? We can't get that power until starter relay 2 is good. It's closed circuit. And we're gonna have to look at, see which one's missing. Our starter relay, we're gonna have to check our starter relay. Let's see if we can find these relays. Find out which one is which. It is in the, here we go. This is a 2008. There might be a different year. 2007. Let me see, which one was this one? (2007). Okay, so from 2007 it would be a different one. This one is the left hand. Let me see. Left hand drive right here. So number 4 and number 6 are our starter relays. So let's go find out what's missing. Hook up a power probe and see which one's missing here. We should be getting a command upon key on. So let me just go grab that power probe. Alright, so we got our power probe. Just gonna hook it up super quick. And leave that inside, of course. And I'm gonna have to disassemble all this stuff here, so usually there's like a little cover there, but this time there isn't, so it's a little weird. Let's go ahead and put you guys where you might be able to see. That should be the area of concern there. Won't be able to see it once I'm in there, but yeah, I'm gonna have to open this sucker up. Man, this whole thing comes out of one piece. Oh, that is not what I was expecting. All right, we're there. And just want to take another look at that. Take another gander at our service information to see which one's number 1, which one's number 2. Number 4 is number 1. And there's got to be a way for you guys to see this. My camera's way too big for you guys to be able to, for me to just put it in there. So I'm going to use a different camera. My old one. This was my old one right here. Well, that was difficult, but we got it done. Hope you guys can see this. At this point, I don't really have much of a choice. This is all we got. So I want to check my load side, make sure there's a fuse positive. We have a ground, which is probably to our starter. And we have no positive. Now, I want to make sure I have my command, I have positive. And then I'm going to turn the key. Hold on now. Oh, that's not easy. Let's try this again. I'm going to turn the key. And it doesn't fully ground. But that could be because of my brake. So I'm going to leave my probe in there. Hit the brake. And I got nothing. So I got no command to start. But let me make sure that my starter's good. I have no positive either. That's weird. So of course that won't work that way because we need 2 relays to actuate. We need 2 actuating relays in order for this to work. And I believe starter relay number 2 is the one that goes direct to the starter. So let me remove that relay. And see what we have on our load side. We have an open circuit, and then we have a positive, so that's our fused positive. But we have a open circuit on the other side, so that may be an open circuited starter. We've got power. And let me turn the key. Grab. Gotta tell you guys, this is turning out to be a lot more work than I thought. We have no ground command on that one either. I've got everything I need except for the starter command from the ECM. Now, what would inhibit the starter, the ECM, from starting? We have brake signal, it knows it's in park, but it won't send out the command. The kessie module recognizes that I'm hitting crank. The ECM is not activating the starter relays. Kind of makes me want to do some kind of like software update with Otis just to be sure, because I don't want to jump the gun and go too far with that. Like, there's no command coming out. Like, if it said that there was a command coming out and the relays didn't activate, then I would think, you know, there's some kind of a connectivity issue. But the fact that it doesn't even command it makes me think there's either a strategy issue where, you know, it's being is being inhibited, or it just it's not going out, you know, making me think that there's something wrong with the ECM. So definitely an interesting one. What's weird is it doesn't tell me to press the brake either. It doesn't tell me to press the brake to start it, so there you go, much better. Now, as uncommon as it is for Audi to do something like this, I have seen it with other computers, and I think it's worth a shot. When there's a shorted circuit or whatever, or some kind of circuit issue, it will shut down the circuit, and sometimes you have to clear the code, sometimes you have to do a cap discharge, but either way, it'll shut down the circuit. Now, I think it's worth a shot just to do a cap discharge and see if there's any improvement afterwards, but for now, we know that this starter is no good. We have direct path to ground. We would have to confirm, obviously, that it is getting a command from the relay. But right now, when I hit ground on that command wire to the starter, I'm sorry, when I hit power to the command wire to the starter, it's got nothing. There's no, and it's not blowing my circuit breaker either. So it's going somewhere. It's just not starting the car. So I believe that solenoid is shorted, or somewhat shorted. But anywho, I'm gonna try cap discharge, see what happens. Guess it's a bit of a Hail Mary, but it doesn't hurt. And I may want to do like an immobilizer relearn, just in case. An immobilizer adapt, just to get everyone on the same page. Sometimes that happens where there's, you know, issues with the immobilizer sending the rolling pin to an ECM, and the ECM, you know, doesn't respond or whatever, and decides not to crank. So even though these, I think if it was immobilized, it would be, you know, start and stall. I don't think I've seen it not crank due to an immobilization issue. But we're gonna let this marinate a bit and see where we go from there. Do a cap discharge, look at more service information, and take it from there. Well, fellas, cap discharge did the trick, man. Wow, I didn't have my hopes up, but yeah, it did it. Hard to keep up with every single car nowadays. It's always good to, like, if you don't have a command from a module and you've ruled out any kind of input issue, be sure to try a cap discharge, because they have that strategy nowadays. It's not the video I was hoping for, but it's good that we saw that it has a bad starter and that the ECM will stop commanding those relays after too many tries, I guess. I don't know. I did a cap discharge. What I did was I went to the ECM, disconnected it. While I disconnected it, I looked up my diagram and decided to check the pins for continuity to positive with the relays connected, and I had it. I was like, okay, that's good. And then I decided to connect to my monitor wire that monitors the command going to the starter, and reconnected everything, and the relay started clicking. And I got my command, so that was that. You guys saw it before. It didn't have no command. And let's just take a look at the live data real quick. I'm gonna turn my key now, and bam, all of them turn on now, which was not the case before. And on our power probe, let's go take a look at our power probe. That is the monitor wire. I'm gonna try this again. Cranking, we got 12.5, and obviously we wouldn't have 12.5 if our relays weren't clicking down here. So yeah, You may not be able to hear it, but I'm gonna put the microphone right up to him. I think with the live data it should be pretty obvious though. I'm gonna go ahead and crank it. Hear those clicks? We weren't getting that before. So yeah, not the video I was going for, but I would hate. Whoa, hold on. Oh man, like I was saying, not the video I was going for, but it may help the next person from condemning an ECM due to a bad starter issue and whatever strategy that is taking place here, which is, shutting down the circuits. It's crazy, but that's the world we live in now. That's what's happening with these cars. They're shutting down circuits. You need to remember to do a cap discharge, reset the module, and reattempt your testing, redo your testing to make sure that your ECM is not a problem. We thought that we had two problems, the starter and the lack of command, but no, it's just a strategy, guys. So don't let that get you. Hope you all found this useful. Thank you all for taking the time to watch, to like the video, to share it, to comment, to tell your buddies. I appreciate every single one of you, and I hope you guys appreciate this video for what it is. It's a warning. It's a warning not to condemn the module just too quickly. Just to take that one step to disconnect the module for a minute or two, maybe even 10 minutes. Some cars are like that. And this happens to CAN buses as well. I've seen this on Jaguars. Speaking of which, I've seen this on Jaguars. CAN buses will shut down the circuit if you short them, or if they are shorted for whatever reason. And you will need to do a 30-minute cap discharge of the entire vehicle in order to bring it back up. So it's crazy, I know, but it's true. Thanks again for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it. And until next time.